"Hello," called Fanny. "How are our morals this morning?" "Going up," answered Esther Knowles, "considering that it's Tuesday. Come in. How's the infant prodigy? I lunched with Ella Monahan, and she told me your first New York trip was a whirlwind. Congratulations." "Thanks. I can't stop. I haven't touched my desk today. I just wanted to ask you if you know the name of that girl who has charge of the main chute in the merchandise building." "Good Lord, child, there are thousands of girls." "But this one's rather special. She is awfully pretty, and rather different looking. Exquisite coloring, a discontented expression, and a blouse that's too low in the neck." "Which might be a description of Fanny Brandeis herself, barring the blouse," laughed Mrs. Knowles. Then, at the startled look in Fanny's face, "Do forgive me, and don't look so horrified. I think I know which one you mean. Her name is Sarah Sapinsky. Yes, isn't it a pity? And it's queer that you should ask me about her, because I've been having trouble with that particular girl." "Trouble?" "She knows she's pretty, and she knows she's different, and she knows she's handicapped, and that accounts for the discontented expression. That and some other things. She gets 7 a week here, and they take just about all of it at home. She says she's sick of it. She has left home twice. I don't blame the child, but I've always managed to bring her back. Some day there'll be a third time, and I'm afraid of it. She's not bad. She's really rather splendid, and she has a certain dreadful philosophy of her own. Her theory is that there are only two kinds of people in the world, those that give and those that take. And she's tired of giving. Sarah didn't put it just that way, but you know what she means, don't you?" "I know what she means," said Fanny grimly. So it was Sarah she saw above all else in her trip through the gigantic plant. Sarah's face shone out from among the thousands. The thud-thud of Sarah's bundle chute beat a dull accompaniment to the hum of the big hive, above the rustle of those myriad yellow order slips, through the buzz of the busy mail room, beneath the roar of the presses in the printing building, the crash of the dishes in the cafeteria, ran the lead motif of Sarah at 7 a week. Back in her office once more, Fanny dictated a brief observation report for Fenger's perusal. "It seems to me there's room for improvement in our card index file system. It's thorough, but unwieldy. It isn't a system any more. It's a ceremony. Can't you get a corps of system sharks to simplify things there?" She went into detail, and passed on to the next suggestion. "If the North American Cloak and Suit Company can sell mail order dresses that are actually smart and in good taste, I don't see why we have to go on carrying only the most hideous crudities in our women's dress department. I know the majority of our women customers wouldn't wear a plain, good-looking little blue serge dress with a white collar and some tailored buttons. They want cerise satin revers on a plum-colored foulard, and that's what we've been giving them. But there are plenty of other women living miles from anywhere who know what's being worn on Fifth Avenue. I don't know how they know it, but they do, and they want it. Why can't we reach those women as well as their shoddier sisters? The North American people do it. I'd wear one of their dresses myself. I wouldn't be found dead in one of ours. Here's a suggestion. Why can't we get Camille to design half a dozen models a season for us? Now don't roar at that, and don't think that the women on Western ranches haven't heard of Camille. They have. They may know nothing of Mrs. Pankhurst, and Lillian Russell may be a myth to them, but I'll swear that every one of them knows that Camille is a dressmaker who makes super dresses. She is as much a household word among them as Roosevelt used to be to their menfolks. And if we can promise them a Camille designed dress for $7.85, which we could, then why don't we?" At the very end, to her stenographer's mystification, she added this irrelevant line: $7 a week is not a living wage. The report went to Fenger. He hurtled lightly over the first suggestion, knowing that the file system was as simple as a monster of its bulk could be. He ignored the third hint. The second suggestion amused, then interested, then convinced him. Within 6 months Camille's name actually appeared in the Haynes Cooper catalog. Not that alone. The Haynes Cooper Company broke its rule as to outside advertising, and announced in full-page magazine ads the news of the $7.85 gowns designed by Camille especially for the Haynes Cooper Company. There went up a nationwide shout of amusement and unbelief, but the announcement continued. Camille, herself a frump with a fringe, whose frocks were worn by queens and dancers and matrons with millions and debutantes. Camille, who had introduced the slouch, revived the hoop, discovered the sunset chiffon, had actually consented to design 6 models every season for the mail order millions of the Haynes Cooper women's dress department, at a price that made even Michael Fenger wince. End of chapter 13.